Want to work for Goldman Sachs? You might end up here. This is a typical Florida Goldman building. It could be anywhere until you look out the window.
Salt Lake City is really the beneficiary of a macro strategy within the firm to move more of our jobs from traditional hubs like New York, London, Hong Kong, Tokyo.
So much so that this is Goldman's fastest growing office. 5 years ago, Goldman had fewer than 500 people here. Today, it's 1,500 and counting. Bigger than Chicago, Frankfurt, or Tokyo, and by the end of the year, bigger than Hong Kong.
I'm just gonna get one of these.
Erik is a 26-year-old from Albuquerque.
Have a good day.
Had Goldman not been in Salt Lake City, she wouldn't be working here as an operations associate.
When I was in college, I didn't think that this is where I would end up. They said that they were looking to really develop the office and to grow. I would love to stay in Salt Lake for the remainder of my career with Goldman. I mean, if they asked me to move, I would consider, but if I have the choice, I would want to stay in Salt Lake.
It's a very young, dynamic labor force, and one of the first things that strikes people when they meet candidates here and they interview candidates here is the level of maturity of the people. A large composition of this office is made up from people that were born and raised in the state. And many of those people spent 2 years on a mission or somewhere having a missionary experience around the world. An important part of the value proposition of this office, along with talent and business resiliency, is cost.
These are tough times for banks. The economy's stuck in first gear and regulation is stifling business. Goldman has slashed almost $6 billion of expenses since the financial crisis, in part by shifting resources to Bangalore, Singapore, Dallas, and Salt Lake City. Rick Skidmore didn't start here. He transferred to Goldman's Utah office for a simple reason: quality of life.
I was in the New York City office for 13 years and then was given the opportunity to move to the Salt Lake City office to start and run the investment research division. I have an opportunity to be at my kids' soccer games, for example, or home for dinner with the family, where that wasn't quite the opportunity when I worked in the New York City office.
We're starting to attract people globally.
Our biggest challenge has been growing from 300 people to over 1,500 people and making sure that all of these new people that are joining the firm are enculturated in the right way.
When you're in the office, I think it's Goldman culture, no matter where in the world you are.
Would you trade New York for Salt Lake City? Utah is hardly a hotbed of investment banking, but it's cheap, smart, and safe, and that's good enough for Goldman Sachs. Erik Schatzker, Bloomberg, Salt Lake City.